Welcome back, everybody. Now, a few days back, the Odin buff officially came out, and before I was very against this buff. I think this is now this is just my opinion, but I think it should be at least a year between the time that a champion gets buffed and the time a champion releases. However, these were only like 2 months apart. Like, Odin came out in March and it's now May, so it's 2 months. Alright, but to start off this video, we are going to be going into the final quest of Act 4 with our unupgraded 3-star and seeing if we can solo the Hulk. Then we are going to be going into the last quest of Act 3 and seeing if we can beat all the way up to Thanos. In that run that I made in the Act 3, in my opinion, was the most impressive run I've ever done with the unupgraded 3-star. Alright, but yeah, so the reason I was throwing off 4 heavies in the beginning was to build up the Energizer. And Energizer, as you all know, increases the amount of power you get based on each hit. And I have 6 because I have 6 unique buffs on me. 2 aptitudes, 2 furies, 2 armor ups. Wait, no, I think it's just, like, it doesn't, like, stack. So it's, like, aptitude, fury, extend, precision, etc. and stuff like that. Alright, but I go for the SP2. I forget to go for the SP1. You want to build up as many buffs as possible. And the way you do that is throwing special attacks. I remember when he came in March, I wanted him to be a ramp-up champion. My friend wanted him to be a high buff champion. He got what he wanted. But yeah. Alright, now before the buff, he had something called the Odin sleep. Now, the Odin sleep has basically been removed. What my wish for the buff was so he could have the same abilities every single match, which is the good abilities that he's got now. Alright, but yeah, I throw the SP3, I throw the SP1, and I get some big red damage from that SP2, so you basically go SP3, SP1, SP2. If you can just do it with, if you don't need that many buffs, you can just go straight SP1, SP2, or SP3, SP2. It doesn't matter, it's your choice, based on how long the fight is and how upgraded your Odin is. Alright, but yeah, once that's all done, you just keep on throwing SP2s, and yeah, and that's basically Odin. Now, keep watching. I will keep explaining, since I feel like I didn't really talk that well about what his abilities were and all of that. But yeah, now we're going to be going into the final quest of Act 3. We're going to be going the path of Drax, Captain America, Gamora, and then I am pretty sure it is, can't remember, I'm pretty sure it's I think it just goes to the Cosmic Adaptoid, then the Ronin, and then the A-Bomb, and then we're going to be going Drax, and then the final boss as Thanos. But yeah, the Odin sleep is technically still a thing. He just has it every single time nowadays. But yeah, as you can see, I get the intercepts. And yeah. Now, I want to talk about synergies. Now, there's not really that many unique synergies because I only have the 3-star version. But for synergies today, we have a synergy with Mephisto. And what that synergy does is, for Odin, for every alive teammate, you get plus 5% attack, so kind of like Dr. Doom, but instead of dead and 10%, it's alive and 5%. And for Mephisto, it's dead and 5%. Alright, but yeah, I definitely think that's more for Odin, that synergy, unless you're doing really hard content. But yeah, I throw off the SP2, I get the extend, and yeah, I get a second version of the Fury, I get a second Fury, I get a second Adaptoid, no, I don't know, I'm drawing a blank on the name, but, whatever, Alright, but yeah, I get out of the way of that. I get hit. I'm starting to bleed out pretty bad. But yeah, thankfully we are able to beat the first Drex. Probably one of the worst defenders, and we lost 50%. Alright, but we're going to be moving on to Captain America. And remember, I like to do this challenge because Act 3 is full of higher rated people. Give you a little bit of a preview for Act 4, but really easy people to fight some of the worst defenders. But yeah, it's meant to be a preview for Act 4. Most people are not ready for it. It is a challenge the first time that they do it. I know it definitely was for me. But yeah, you want to do 4 Furies to start off. Each Energizer you get, it is for, like, I have 4 Energizer because I have 4 unique buffs on me. And yeah, if you want to hold off, like the SP3 and the SP1 give you more buffs, you can just keep throwing heavies and keep adjusting to them for more and more buffs. But yeah, I want to go into deeper depth about what the SP3 does, and what the Odin force is. Now, if you look at where the buffs are, you can see a yellow buff. It just went down to brown. Now it's back to yellow, and it has 2 stacks on it. Now it's back down to 0. But yeah, that is called the Odin force. Now, the Odin force, if you have it at 2 every single time you throw a special, you always get something extra, an extra good buff. And for the SP3, you get a copy of all the buffs that Odin originally had. That's without the Odin force. If you have the Odin force, which means remember 2, you get that along with an extend buff, increasing the duration of future buffs by 25% for 15 seconds. Yeah, in the SP1, it gives you True Strike, which, remember, lets you ignore armor, resistances, auto block, and evade for 10 seconds. So not an extreme amount of time. But, yeah, and with the Odin force, you get a Bulwark buff, increasing the block proficiency, and it increases it by a really solid amount. It's definitely not worth just ignoring, but if you don't need it, don't go for it. I personally think the SP3 is better unless you're fighting somebody like a MODOK, or an annoying evade person like a Miles Morales or a Spider-Man Classic. But yeah, as I said earlier, this is probably the most impressive clear of this I have ever seen on my channel. We did this before. On my just original. I think we just did this before on my original gameplay of him. All right. But yeah, I think it took like more. I think I might have even had to use a revive last time. No. Last time he had the Odin force, so we had to like skip over fights, which was really annoying, or else it would have been really hard and really annoying. But yeah, he's probably really low tier on my tier list. If he never had the Odin sleep. Nowadays, he has the Odin sleep basically at all times. I'm not sure if he never ever doesn't. I'm going to be checking that right now. I do not have the Sky Awakened. As you can see, I will be talking about the Awakened ability. I will be talking about the Awakened ability momentarily. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so you can see this is Black Bolt for the Cosmic Adaptoid. But yeah, we're going for the SP3. The SP3 does pretty good damage. It does decent damage. But yeah, I will be reading out all the synergies he does have. Remember, we don't really have the synergies because this is only a 3-star version. But yeah, but for Odin, he has the Mephisto synergy, as I was talking about earlier. He has a synergy with MCOC, and MCOC is the primary person in the synergy, if that makes sense. And when he deals a burst of direct damage using the special tube, which remember is like the red damage, it's overly doubled of Odin's base attack rating, which I think would be very insane. I'm hoping to pull, I'm not sure like what star is the minimum for that synergy, but probably a 4 or a 5 star of MCOC momentarily, or pretty soon. But yeah, he also has the synergy with Heimdall. Once per fight, Heimdall will intercede on Odin's behalf, dash back and hold block for 1.5 seconds to gain a perfect block buff, increasing perfect block chance by 100%, which doubles it for 20 seconds or 10 seconds. And yeah, this next synergy works with any of his children. It's not like scary like Thanos or but which means Angela, Hela, Loki, and Thor. It actually doesn't do anything for him. Just helps just helps Loki and Angela, Thor, and Hela. But yeah, he also has another synergy with Hela. He gets 10% attack rating when fighting the final node of a quest. Which yeah would really help out with a lot of like really challenging bosses, I think. But yeah, so now it's time to move on to the Abomination fight. Abomination is somebody who Abomination is probably the hardest person on this path, maybe even worse than Thanos. I mean, Thanos is harder to take down, but this guy just wipes out your health with the poison. So, thankfully we don't get ambushed by poisons or anything too bad like that. We do get a poison on us occasionally. Thankfully, though, not in extreme amounts. But yeah. Okay, but I'm gonna be reading the Awakened ability now. Here, just let me pull it up. 1 second. Alright, signature ability. It's called the Protector of the Nine Realms. When either Odin or his opponent is knocked down, if the opponent has any of the following buffs, Odin gains the same buff, which basically copies it, and it lasts 10 seconds, which I think could be really good, especially if you're fighting like Venom. I think if I could get this guy awakened, I could like destroy I think I could actually try to beat the Venom in the end of 4.3. I'd actually want to try that. I'd probably have to upgrade him to maybe max, but yeah, that would be worth it to have some fun with that guy. All right, but we do get a poison on us. It's not looking good. It's not being very great for our health. And then we get nailed by the SP2, which is also not very great. But yeah, then we get another poison on us, and then we go for the SP1, try to get off as much damage. I'm thinking I'm about to die, but yeah, thankfully I am able to escape the fight. Not too much harm done or anything like that. Alright, but now it is time to move on to the last two fights of this video. One of them being Drax. We fought Drax earlier. Drax is probably top 5, probably even top 3 worst defenders in the game. That's my opinion. Yeah, that's not important. Remember, we're going to start off going for the heavy attacks. We're going to go for 4 of them. The first 2 just give him 1. And then you start to add them up based on the amount of buffs you have and the amount of unique buffs. Yeah, but another fun fact, for the temporary buffs, that will expire, like not like the Fury or anything, if you are close to the opponent, it will not activate. But yeah, I really love this quest as well because you don't have to worry about the SP3, but you can call me weird. Sometimes I do like baiting special attacks. But yeah, sometimes it's just very nice to be able to just let go of that stress. Yeah, I need to get it to the second Odin Force. And yeah, I threw off the SP2. I did not go for the SP1, but yeah, it still does 1,000 damage. The amount of red damage is all based on the amount of buffs you have. So if you throw an SP1, it'll be even more damage. And after you throw the SP1 and the SP3, as long as you can keep those buffs up, you just keep going for SP2s. If you lose the True Strike or the Extend or something, you just go for another SP1 or SP3 or whatever you lost. Alright, but now we are on the final Thanos boss. Yeah, Thanos, a lot of health, 20k health, is doing a lot of damage through our block, probably like 1.5 per time. But yeah, I get the Odin Force back to ready, and yeah, now it's time to do a full rotation. We're going to be needing to go SP3 and SP1, but yeah, I dex the SP1, and yeah, now it's time to go for the SP3. This guy also does not have his Special 3 active. I don't know if I've ever seen Thanos' Special 3. Actually, wait, yes I have. I remember at the end he like walks off or something. Yeah, so here I need to get back up the Odin Force. It works. Yeah, now I'm going for the SP1. I'm getting the True Strike and the block proficiency. I get out of the way of the SP2, and yeah, now it's time to go for the SP, for my SP2. Alright, but yeah, I'm just trying to get the parry. I am successful. The Energizer, the Odin Force, I do lose, but that is okay. Yeah, now it's time to throw off the SP2. Let's see how much red damage it is. 3.1 thousand red damage. That is a whole lot of red damage for an unupgraded 3-star. But yeah, overall this guy is very, very solid right now. And yeah, this was probably the easiest clear of the 3-star challenge I've ever done. The unupgraded 3-star challenge. And yeah, it didn't even use that much health potions. We used 2 health potions. Most of the time, even with health potions, even occasional revives, sometimes we can't do it. I don't think we could do it with Nova. Howard the Duck, I want to say we could do it with. But yeah, we've never had such an easy clear. But yeah. Alright, so now it is time to go back to the SP2. We throw it off. And yeah, that finishes the fight. A very crazy fight. He lost 20%, 40% in 2 SP2s, which is very insane. But yeah, I am very happy with the new buffed up version of Odin. It is exactly what I wanted, not more, not less. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to hit the subscribe and like button. Make sure to comment new videos you want to see. I am always looking for new ones. Make sure to follow the Instagram. It tells you a lot about my MCOC account and my channel. And if you want to watch more of me, I post every day at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, check in there tomorrow. And yeah, everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. See you guys later.